Welcome to Farming Aid.
If you are a cattle producer, ranch manager, or livestock enthusiast looking for practical ways to cut costs and improve herd performance, you have likely asked yourself one key question: which cattle breeds will help me get the most out of my land with the least hassle? In today's video we are diving into why smart ranchers across the United States are switching to 3 low-maintenance American cattle breeds that deliver hardiness, efficient growth, and reliable performance with fewer inputs. You will learn how these breeds handle tough weather, make the most of available forage, and help producers reduce feed and labor costs without sacrificing beef quality. Whether you are interested in improving sustainability on your ranch or finding cattle that fit modern management goals, this guide will explain the traits that make these breeds stand out in 2026 and beyond. Among these, 3 stand out for their ability to blend hardiness, efficiency, and quality in ways that fit the needs of modern ranching operations is the American Murray Grey. The breed roots back to the Murray River region of Australia, but its development in the United States has made it a true homegrown success story. Ranchers who switch to Murray Grey cattle often talk about their calm temperament, which makes handling easier and safer on every level. A calm animal is less stressed during routine procedures, and that translates into better gains, less bruising at processing, and a more efficient workflow. What really catches the attention of smart producers, though, is how Murray Greys consistently convert lower-quality forage into solid weight gains. This breed's ability to maintain body condition through seasonal fluctuations in grass quality means ranchers can rely less on supplemental feed, especially during the shoulder seasons when feed costs tend to spike. In a time when input costs dominate ranch budgets, that efficiency alone can justify a strategic shift. Their moderate frame size also means less energy required for maintenance, which improves feed conversion ratios. In hands that value longevity, the breed delivers too, with cows that stay productive for many seasons. Another reason Murray Greys are gaining traction is their adaptability to a wide range of environments. From the rolling grasses of the Midwest to the harsher ranges of the West, these cattle hold up well. Ranchers in drought-prone regions, in particular, note that Murray Greys seem to cope with heat stress better than many traditional British breeds. This is not just anecdotal. Producers point to consistently better pregnancy rates during hot months and lower incidences of heat-related setbacks. In an era of unpredictable weather, having animals that require less intervention to handle heat or cold stresses is a huge operational advantage. This adaptability reduces the need for expensive environmental controls or supplemental nutrition to keep cattle on target with performance goals. In short, producers who adopt Murray Grey cattle often find that the breed's resilient nature aligns well with the bottom line without sacrificing carcass quality. Moving from the Murray Grey, ranchers increasingly highlight the Beefmaster as another breed that embodies low-maintenance efficiency without compromising production goals. The Beefmaster was developed in the United States with an intentional emphasis on practicality. Breeders sought to combine traits that matter most to commercial producers: fertility, weight gain, hardiness, and maternal ability. This breed's story begins with a simple question faced by family ranchers everywhere: how do we raise cattle that get the job done without demanding constant attention? The answer, for many, has been Beefmasters. Cows in Beefmaster herds are known for their strong mothering instincts and high fertility rates, meaning more calves weaned per cow exposed. That equates to more income units from the same number of brood cows. These cattle are also known for moderate birth weights, which translates into fewer calving difficulties, less labor during calving season, and healthier calves that require less intervention early in life. But the Beefmaster's reputation for low maintenance goes beyond calving ease. These cattle display exceptional ability to thrive in tough grazing conditions. Developed in South Texas, early Beefmaster lines learned to deal with heat, ticks, and sparse forage. Ranchers in similar climates across the southwest and southern plains appreciate that the breed's genetic history makes them less dependent on highly managed grazing or supplemental feed. A herd that can make do with what the land naturally provides eases management pressure and reduces costs. What many producers find particularly valuable is the breed's longevity. Beefmasters tend to remain productive into later years, which spreads replacement costs over more seasons. This longevity, combined with dependable fertility and strong calf performance, results in a herd that doesn't ask for much but gives back plenty. Environmental resilience is another key dimension of why ranchers are turning to Beefmaster cattle. As climate variability increases, breeds that can maintain condition with fewer inputs become strategic assets. These animals don't overheat as easily in sweltering summer conditions and retain body condition where other breeds might falter. Ranchers note that when drought or heat waves hit, herds that can withstand stress with minimal supplemental support allow managers to focus resources where they truly matter. The result is less financial pressure, a more predictable production calendar, and a more sustainable operation in the long run. While the Murray Grey and Beefmaster each bring their own strengths to the table, the Corriente represents a different but equally compelling answer to the question of low-maintenance production. Corriente cattle trace their ancestry to the early Spanish cattle brought to the Americas centuries ago, and that heritage shows in their remarkable hardiness and adaptability. Historically, they were the cattle of choice for open-range operations where survival depended on self-sufficiency. Today, that legacy translates into animals that require minimal nutritional input, resist many common parasites, and can handle rugged terrain with ease. Ranchers who operate on public lands or marginal pastures are particularly drawn to Corriente cattle because they do not demand high-quality feed to thrive. These cattle turn what others might call poor forage into steady growth, which is a huge advantage when feed quality fluctuates or when supplemental feeding is not financially feasible. Corriente cattle also bring a lean, muscular phenotype to the beef market that modern consumers appreciate. As demand grows for leaner cuts of beef without sacrificing flavor, producers with Corriente genetics find themselves well positioned. Lean beef fits niche markets and direct-to-consumer sales channels where discerning customers are willing to pay a premium. Ranchers who embrace Corriente cattle often talk about how these animals fit both an ecological and a market rationale. They do more with less and appeal to buyers who prioritize sustainability and quality. Their small to moderate frame size contributes to lower maintenance requirements, as smaller animals generally need less feed and can navigate difficult landscapes more easily. That's especially true on rugged ranches where steep slopes, brushy canyons, or remote pastures make frequent handling impractical. One of the most compelling reasons smart producers switch to these three breeds is how they collectively present a model for efficient, resilient cattle production in the 21st century. Ranching today faces pressures that simply did not exist for previous generations. Input costs have risen sharply, weather patterns have become less predictable, and consumer expectations around sustainability and animal welfare are evolving. Under these conditions, breeds that thrive with lower labor and feed inputs are not just convenient, they are strategic. The American Murray Grey, Beefmaster, and Corriente each demonstrate that cattle can be both rugged and productive, reducing the need for constant intervention while still meeting performance goals. When producers look at their annual budgets and see the largest line items tied to feed, veterinary care, and labor, the appeal of low-maintenance genetics becomes clear. These breeds help trim those expense lines without compromising the enterprise's ability to meet quality and efficiency targets. Beyond direct cost savings, there is an operational and lifestyle benefit that often drives producers toward these breeds. Ranching is hard work, and much of that effort goes into managing variability, fluctuating markets, changing forage conditions, and unpredictable weather. Cattle that adjust to their environment with minimal oversight free up time and energy for managers to focus on strategic decision-making rather than daily firefighting. Whether it's planning rotational grazing systems, investing in land improvements, or exploring value-added marketing channels, less time spent on routine maintenance allows producers to think bigger. Ranchers who have made the shift often describe it not as a withdrawal from traditional skills, but as an evolution toward smarter, more efficient management. They still care deeply about animal well-being, but they recognize that genetics can shoulder a significant portion of the burden that used to fall solely on human intervention. When these breeds are integrated into well-designed management systems, the results can be transformative. Adaptive grazing strategies, for example, pair exceptionally well with cattle that handle forage variability without stress. Rotational grazing not only improves pasture recovery, it enhances soil health and biodiversity. Cattle that maintain condition on such systems contribute to a cycle of land improvement that benefits the entire ecosystem. Producers who adopt this approach witness fewer costly veterinary interventions because their animals are less stressed, better conditioned, and more able to cope with environmental pressures. That creates a positive feedback loop. Healthier cattle improve pasture dynamics, which in turn supports healthier animals. In contrast, highly managed, high-input systems can create dependency on expensive supplements and frequent handling that, over time, can undermine resilience and flexibility. Across the country, from family-run ranches in the heartland to sprawling operations in the Southwest, producers are increasingly telling a similar story. They are looking for cattle that fit their land, reduce their workload, and align with market demands without sacrificing quality. The American Murray Grey, Beefmaster, and Corriente each meet those criteria in distinctive ways. They represent a shift in mindset as much as a shift in genetics, from working harder to working smarter. In an industry where margins can be tight and uncertainties abundant, breeds that offer efficiency, resilience, and adaptability are not just attractive, they are essential. As we wrap this up, it becomes clear that the shift toward low-maintenance cattle is not just a trend, it is a strategic move. Smart ranchers are not chasing hype. They are studying input costs, watching weather patterns, analyzing fertility rates, and paying attention to what the market actually rewards. When they choose breeds like the American Murray Grey, the Beefmaster, and the Corriente, they are choosing cattle that work with the land instead of against it. They are choosing animals that stay productive with fewer interventions, convert forage efficiently, handle heat and environmental stress, and continue performing year after year. If you found value in this breakdown of why smart ranchers are switching to these 3 low-maintenance American cattle breeds, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your experience in the comments. Are you already running one of these breeds, or are you considering making the switch? I would love to hear what is working on your operation.